Now on BBC One, the 9 o'clock news with Martin Lewis.
Lady Thatcher accuses the West of being a little like an accomplice to massacre in Bosnia. She calls for the Bosnian Muslims to be armed as the only way of halting the Serbian slaughter. The diplomatic logjam over Chris Patten's reforms in Hong Kong is broken. Nelson Mandela warns that South Africa is on the brink of disaster. Good evening. Lady Thatcher has attacked the West for what she called the failure of its policy of humanitarian aid for the former Yugoslavia. We cannot, she said, go on feeding the innocent, then leaving them to be massacred. In an interview for the BBC's 6 o'clock news, the former Prime Minister said she was ashamed of the European community's failure to arm the Bosnian Muslims. She went on to accuse the West of being a little like an accomplice to massacre, a remark denounced by the Defence Secretary Malcolm Rifkind as emotional nonsense. Football, and in tonight's Premier League relegation battle, Oldham and Sheffield United drew 1-1. The result leaves both sides in trouble, but Sheffield United have at least one game in hand of all three clubs below them. Tonight's main news again. Lady Thatcher has accused the West of being a little like an accomplice to massacre in Bosnia. She called for the Bosnian Muslims to be armed as the only way of stopping the Serbs. More on Newsnight at 10:30 on BBC Two as usual. That's the 9 o'clock news tonight. Good night.
This is BBC One. Now, North News with Steve Sutton.